All right. So the year is 2019, and I received this book, Personal Finance for Dummies, in July of 2015. I was fresh in starting to run my business, and the financial advisor slash accountant slash bookkeeper that I was working with at the time had decided not to work with me because I think that she began to see um, a direct correspondence in how I was handling my business finances in comparison to how I was handling my personal finances. So here it is, 2019 of October, and I'm just cracking this book open. I'm determined to get through it because I really want to do better at taking care of my finances, and it's also a personal goal of mine to read more. So I decided to record myself doing it to kind of keep myself committed, and if people join in and stuff like that, that's cool too. So whatever. Anyway, Personal Finance for Dummies, second edition, a reference for the rest of us by Eric Tyson. Introduction. Welcome to the Personal Finance for Dummies, second edition. For a number of years, I dreamed of writing a personal finance book that would be different. The book would describe in plain, readable English the most important concepts that you need to know in order to manage your personal finances. It would give specific answers to financial questions where it could, and where it couldn't give the answers, it would suggest the best resources to turn to. As faith would have it, my path crossed that of IDG books. As a computer dummy, I was overjoyed to finally find computer books that offered clear explanations and practical advice. The For Dummies approach is how I conceived my personal finance book. I just didn't know it at the time. As you can see from the quotes in the front of this edition, readers and reviewers alike were pretty pleased with the first edition. However, I and the good folks at IDG don't rest on our laurels. So what you hold in your hands reflects more hard work to bring you the freshest and more material to address your personal financial quandaries. Why this book? Many Americans are financially illiterate. If you are, it's probably not your fault. Personal Finance 101 is not offered in our schools, not in high school, not even the best colleges and graduate schools. It should be. Of course, if it were, I wouldn't be able to write fun and useful books such as this, or maybe they would use this book in the course. There are some common financial problems and mistakes, and different people keep making those same mistakes over and over. This book, like a good friend, can whop you upside your head to keep you from falling into the same traps. Not planning. Human beings were born to procrastinate. That's why there are deadlines and extensions. With your finances, unfortunately, you have no deadlines and you think you have unlimited extensions. You can leave your money sitting in lousy investment for years. You can end up paying higher taxes, having gaps in your retirement and insurance coverage, and overpaying for financial products. Of course, planning your finances isn't as much fun as planning a vacation, but doing the former will help you take more of the latter. Overspending. The average American saves less than 5% of after-tax income, in contrast with the average Canadian who saves about 9%, French 12%, German 14%, and Japanese at 15%. It's simple arithmetic to determine that savings is the difference between what you earn minus what you spend, assuming you're not spending more than you're earning. To increase your savings, you either have to work more, yuck, know a wealthy family who wants to leave its fortune to you, or simply learn to spend less. For most of us, the thrifty approach is the key to building savings and wealth. Buying on credit. Even with the benefit of today's lower interest rates, carrying a balance month to month on your credit card or buying a car on credit means that even more of your future earnings are earmarked for debt repayment. Buying on credit encourages you to spend more than you can really afford. Not saving soon enough for retirement. Most people say they want to retire by their mid-60s or sooner. But in order to accomplish this financially, you need to save a reasonable chunk, about 10% of your income, starting sooner rather than later. The longer you wait to start saving for retirement, the harder it will be to reach your goal. And you'll pay much more in taxes to boot if you don't take advantage of the tax benefits of investing through particular retirement accounts. Falling prey to financial sales pitches. Great deals that can't wait for a little reflection or a second opinion are often disasters waiting to happen. A sucker may be born every minute, but a slick salesperson is born every second. Steer clear of those who pressure you to make decisions, promise high investment returns, and lack the proper training and experience to help you. Not doing your homework. To get the best financial deal, you need to shop around, read reviews, and get advice from disinterested, objective third parties. You need to check references and track records so you don't hire incompetent, self-serving, or fraudulent financial advisors. But with all the different financial products available, making informed financial decisions has become an overwhelming task. I've done a lot of the homework for you with the investment, insurance, credit, and other products I recommend in this book. Where I'm not able to give precise advice, I explain what additional research you need to do and how to go about doing it. Making decisions based on emotion. You are most vulnerable to making the wrong moves financially after a major life change. That is job loss, divorce, or when you feel under pressure. Maybe your investments have plunged in value, or a recent divorce has you fearing that you won't be able to afford to retire when you have planned, so you pour thousands of dollars into some newfangled financial product. Take your time and keep your emotions out of the picture. In Chapter 20, I discuss how to approach major life changes with an eye to determining what changes in your financial picture may need to be made. Not separating the wheat from the chaff. In any field in which you're not an expert, you run the danger of following the advice of someone who you think is an expert but really isn't. I need to read that again. Not separating the wheat from the chaff. In any field in which you're not an expert, you run the danger of following the advice of someone who you think is an expert but really isn't. This book teaches you to separate the financial fluff from the financial facts. If you look in the mirror, you'll see the person who is best able to manage your personal finances. Educate that person and trust that person. My goodness. Exposure to catastrophic risk. You're vulnerable if you or your family don't have insurance to pay for financially devastating losses. People without a savings, reserve, and support network can end up homeless. Many people lack sufficient insurance coverage to replace their income. Don't wait for a tragedy to strike to learn whether or not you have the right kind of insurance coverage. Focusing too much on money. Too much emphasis on making and saving money can warp your perspective on what's important in life. Money is not the first or even second priority in happy people's lives. Your health, your relationship with family and friends, career satisfaction, and fulfilling interest are all more important. Unfair as it seems, many of these traps await you when you are actually seeking help. The world is filled with biased and bad financial advice. As a practicing financial counselor, I see and hear about the consequences of this bad advice every day. Of course, every profession has some bad apples, but too many people calling themselves financial planners have conflicts of interest. All too often, financial advice today ignores the big picture and focuses narrowly on investing. Yes, Lord. You need to broaden your understanding of personal finance to include all areas of your financial life: spending, taxes, saving, insurance, and planning for major goals like education, buying a home, and retirement. Because money is not an end in itself, but part of your whole life. This book helps connect your financial goals and problems to the rest of your life. Even if you understand the financial basis, thinking about your finances in a even if you understand the financial basics, thinking about your finances in a holistic way can be difficult. Sometimes you're too close to the situation to be objective, like the organization of your desk or files, or disorganization as the case may be. Your finances may reflect the history of your life more than they reflect a comprehensive plan for your future. You are likely a busy person and don't have enough hours in the day to get things done. Thus, you want to know how to diagnose your financial situation quickly and painlessly and determine what you should do from there. Unfortunately, after figuring out what financial strategies make sense for you, choosing specific financial products in the marketplace can be a nightmare. You have literally thousands of investment, insurance, and loan options to choose from. Talk about information overload. To complicate matters, you probably hear about most products through advertising that can be misleading, if not downright false. Of course, some very ethical and useful firms advertise, but so do those that are more interested in converting your hard-earned income and savings into their profits. And they may not be here tomorrow when you need them. You want to know the best places to go for your circumstances. That's why some people choose to hire someone like me as a financial counselor as a result of their concerns. I filled this book with specific, tried, and proven product recommendations. Uses for this book. You can use this book in one of three ways. If you want to find out about a specific area, such as getting out of high interest consumer debt or investing in mutual funds, you can flip to that section and get your answers quickly. If you want a crash course in personal finance, read it cover to cover. Reading the whole book helps to solidify major financial concepts, gets you thinking about your finances in a more comprehensive way. Or you could just simply use this book as a paperweight. Seriously though, this book is basically enough for a novice to get his or her arms around the thorniest of financial issues. But advanced readers will be challenged as well to think about their finances in a new way and identify areas for improvement. Check out the table of contents for a chapter-to-chapter rundown of what's in this book. You can also look up a specific topic in the index and then flip to the page it lists, or you can turn the page and start at the beginning of chapter 1. The big picture. This book is organized into 5 parts, each covering a major area of your personal finances. The chapter within each part covers specific topics in detail. You can read each chapter and part without having to read what comes before, which is useful if you have better things to do with your free time. This book also makes for a great reading anywhere you might be sitting for a length of time, perhaps the bathroom. You may be referred occasionally to somewhere else in the book for more detail on a particular subject. Here is a summary of what you find in each part. Part 1, before you begin your journey. This part reveals common causes of missing links in personal finance knowledge and explains how to diagnose your current financial health. You may want to hire someone to help. So in this part, you learn more than you ever wanted to know about finding the right person and avoiding a lemon. Saving for a purpose. Most people don't have gobs of extra cash. Therefore, this part shows you how to figure where all your dollars are going and how to reduce your spending. Chapter 5 is solely devoted to solving the problem of getting out from under the burden of high interest consumer debt, such as on credit cards. I also provide specifics for reducing your tax burden and figuring out how much you should be saving if you want to retire someday or for some other purpose. Investing what you have. Earning and saving money is hard work. So you want to be careful when it comes to investing what you have worked so hard to save or waited so long to inherit. Learning investment basics helps you to pick investments wisely and understand investment risks, returning, and a whole lot more. I explain all the major and best types of investment options, including how to hire your own professional money manager through a mutual fund. Don't worry if you don't have much to invest. I recommend specific strategies and investments for both inside and outside of tax sheltered retirement accounts. I also discuss buying, selling, and investing in real estate as well as other wealth building investments. Protecting what you've got. Insurance is an important part of your life. Unfortunately for most people, it is a thoroughly overwhelming and dreadfully boring topic. But perhaps I can pick your interest in this esoteric topic when I tell you that you're probably paying more than you should for insurance and don't have the right coverages for your situation. This part tells you all you ever wanted to know. Okay, fine. All you never wanted to know, but probably should know anyway, about how to buy the right insurance at the best price. And then part 5, this is part 10. The part of tens. I guess I'm still not sure whether IDG or David Letterman came up with top 10 lists. Although Dave's are just a bit funnier only because he has a team of professional joke writers. These lists of 10s can help you manage major life changes or keep you from getting in a jam if picking a financial advisor. In this part, you can also find top software to dazzle and delight your friends. Icons used in this book. The nerdy guy, the targets. Okay, I'm not going to go through those because you guys can't actually see him, but he just begins to go through a bunch of icons that he uses throughout the book to let you know certain things. But we'll stop right here. On the next video will be part 1, before you begin your journey. And then we'll get into Chapter 1, potholes on the road to financial success.